Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lektion 5. Today, we are diving straight into the absolute foundation of the German language, the alphabet. Let's get you sounding like a native. So, you're probably looking at these letters and thinking, hey, I know my ABCs. What's the big deal? And yeah, they look familiar, but trust me, the sounds are a whole different ballgame. You're in for a few surprises. Here's the thing. We're not just memorizing a list of letters today. We are learning the actual fundamental building blocks of German. Nailing these sounds is your first huge step toward actually speaking and understanding the language. So, you ready to start building? Okay, before we properly kick things off, this is the most important instruction you're going to hear. I mean it. To really get these sounds right, you have to say them out loud with me. It's all about muscle memory. So I'll pause after each one, and that's your cue. Let's do this. We're going to start with the 26 standard letters, the ones you'll definitely recognize. And don't worry, we're not going to do them all at once. We'll break them up into smaller chunks.
All right, let's begin. Repeat after me. A is A, like in Apfel. B is Be, like in Banane. C is C, like in Couch. D is De, like in Deutschland. And E is I, like in Elephant. See? Not so bad.
Moving on, F is F for fish. G is Gay for Gitarre. H is Ha for house. I is E for eagle. Now stop and listen to this next one because it's a big one. J is pronounced Jot. It sounds like an English Y, as in yogurt. This one trips up a lot of learners, so really try to remember Jot. You're doing great. Let's keep that momentum. K is Ka, like in cafe. L is L for Liebe. M is M for Mann. N is N for Nagel, and O is just a simple O, like in orange. That one's pretty easy to remember. Okay, here's our next set. P is Pay, as in penguin. Q is Ku for quiz. R is Try to get a little vibration in the back of your throat if you can, as in rot. S is S for sunny. T is Te for tea. And U is U for Fantastic. All right, we're at the finish line for the standard alphabet, but this slide has some really crucial ones, so pay it close attention. The letter V is pronounced Fau, and it makes an F sound, like in Vogel. The letter W is Way, and it makes a V sound, like in Volca. X is Ix for xylophone. Y is Ypsilon for yak. And last but not least, Z is Set. It's a sharp S sound, like at the end of the word cats, as in zebra. Now for the really fun part. German doesn't just stop at 26 letters. It has 4 special characters. I like to think of them as awesome little power-ups that give you some brand new sounds. So, first up is something called an umlaut. What is it? It's just those 2 little dots that you see hovering over a vowel. Its only job is to completely change how you say that vowel. And you'll only ever find it on 3 letters, A, O, and U. Let's see how it works. A regular A with no dots is A, like we learned in Apfel. But once you add the umlaut, the sound changes to be more like air. Listen to this. Bear. Your turn. Bear. Big difference, right? Next up, Ö. By itself, it's just O, as in orange. But with the umlaut, it becomes Ö. Now, this one is a little tricky. Here's a tip. Make your mouth into an O shape, but then try to say the sound E. It's that sound you hear in the word Ö. Give it a shot. Öl. And our last umlaut is on the U. Normally, it's that sound, as in Ur. With the umlaut, it becomes Ü. We're going to use the same trick here. Shape your lips for a long oo sound, but again, try to say E. It's the sound right in our lesson number, 5. Let's say it together. 5. And our last special character, this one looks kind of weird, right? It's called an S set, or sometimes a sharp S. And honestly, it's super simple. It just makes a sharp, hissing S sound. You hear it in words like Fuß. That's it.
Ooh, okay, that was a lot of new information, I know. So let's just boil it all down into one convenient cheat sheet. These are the absolute must-know rules from our lesson today.
So here's the bottom line. If you can remember these 5 things, you'll avoid the most common mistakes. Remember, V sounds like an F, W sounds like a V, J sounds like a Y.
Z has that sharp sound, and you will never, ever find a German word that starts with that sharp S, the S-set. Lock these 5 rules in your brain. And there you have it. You take the 26 standard letters, you add the 4 special characters, and you get a grand total of 30 characters in the German alphabet, and you've just learned every single one of them. Congratulations! All right, let's do one last super fast lightning round to really make it stick. I'll say the name of the character, you say it right back to me. Ready? Let's go. A, B, C, D, I, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, A, V, W, X, Epsilon, Z, E, U, B. Absolutely brilliant. So, you've just been handed the complete toolkit of German sounds. Now my question for you is, which sound are you going to practice first? Which one was the weirdest or the most challenging for you? Maybe it was the U or that W and V swap. Whatever it is, pick one and just spend 5 minutes today saying it over and over. That is how you really make this stuff stick. Thanks for joining me.